Okay, so for this problem, oh, we lost her. Oh. Okay, here we are. Sorry, I lost my screen for a second. It says, consider the equation below, y equals 3x squared plus 30x plus 70. Use completing the square to rewrite the given equation to reveal its extreme value. So I've got to take this equation right here and make it look like this. They want us to use completing the square method, right? So completing the square method, if you remember, we've got to factor out the 3. Then, okay, so let me just do it. All right. So the first thing we got to do is we got to get x squared with a coefficient of 1. We got to get that by itself. So I'm going to say y is equal to. Notice that this is factorable by 3 and this is factorable by 3. So in other words, I could rewrite this as x squared, right, plus 30. Well, it's not 30 anymore. It'd be 10. Plus 10x. And then we're going to tack on this plus 71 over here on the back end. That's going to be important because when we're done, we got to make sure our math adds up to equal all this stuff. So now we're going to focus on this. Now to complete the square, remember we take the b term, half it, and then square it. In other words, I'm going to say 3 times x squared plus 10x plus 10 over 2 squared. All right, and then over here I've got plus 71. But remember, if I add this in, I got to subtract it out here. Also remember that that's going to end up getting multiplied by 3. So I'm going to say minus 3 times 10 over 2 squared. All right, we're getting there. So then this becomes y equals 3 times x. What is 1/2 of 10? 5. What is 5 squared? 25, right? And then over here I've got plus 71 minus 3 times 5 squared, which is 25, right? In other words, this is 5. In other words, this is 5. So 5 squared is 25. Now, what that does for me is that makes this 3. What I've done completing the square gives me this, right? How do I know? Because x plus that half of the middle term, x plus 5 times x plus 5 is x squared, and then we've got plus 5x, and then plus 5x, and then 5 times 5 is 25. Okay? And then if I add the middle terms, I get 10x. So this is the same as this squared. And now what's 3 times 25? What are 3/4 worth? 75, right? So this whole thing is 75. What's 71 minus 75? -4. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a quick trick that you could do on the calculator. We want to verify that what we've just done is the same as what we started off with. So I'm going to graph them, and they should be the same graph. So I'm going to do the original function, which is 3x squared plus 30. Whoops, dang it. You guys are supposed to be paying attention and telling me where I'm making my mistakes. I do that stuff on purpose to help you guys out. You're welcome. All right, so anyways, we're going to say 3x squared plus 30x plus, what the heck was it? 71. All right, and then we said that that should be the same as 3 times x plus 5 squared minus 71. Oh, I forgot to clear it, or not 71, minus 4. Let me clear out the rest of this stuff. Oh, no. Minus 4. So let's graph it. So that little red dot is the first function, and the blue line goes right on top of the red dots. Did you guys see that? So they're the same. All right, cool. And then what is the extreme value? Now, remember, this is what we call the vertex form, where the vertex is the opposite, right? So remember, in the vertex form, we have y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And so the vertex then will be my h comma k value. The h's are always the opposite because of this minus sign in the formula. So this would be negative 5, and then k is negative 4. This is what we would call the extreme value. Because it's a minimum or a maximum. It's a minimum. I had to think about that for a second. It's a minimum because a is positive. Right? So that's your extreme value. Which is a minimum. So let me zoom out so you can kind of see the whole thing in the snapshot. So then what do I put here? I'm just going to put 5. And then what do I put in the second box? Negative 4. And then my extreme value is negative 5, bless you, comma, negative 4.